All right, we should be live now. Well, I'm not expecting any viewers, but not yet. So we're just getting started. Hang on a second. I'm going to have to repost this on the Facebook page. One sec. And post this on the Facebook page. Okay. One sec. And all right, published and okay. Is it online? Internet is too slow. Is it too slow? No. Okay. All right, so 2 viewers, great. So what is this all about? I actually thought I'd go online with my video loops. What is a video loop? On the top left, you can see the kind of videos that I'm creating for Instagram. And I just recently started this. If you go to my Instagram, which you should actually follow, you will be seeing these magic trick loop videos that are very popular right now. And I thought I'd put my motion graphics know-how and expertise to excuse me, practical use. And yeah, so I get this question a lot, how do you actually create this? And with this specific video, yesterday somebody was asking me, how the heck did you create this? And it's actually not complicated. It's pretty simple. So I thought I'd use this as a live format for the YouTube channel, so you can watch as I am creating these. Of course, this is done already, so I'm recreating it, but hopefully you will learn something along the way, and even ask questions if you want to know something. You just tell me or ask me what you want to know about After Effects, creating these. How was it shot? What camera did you use? And yeah, that's basically it. So I should actually introduce myself. I'm a professional videographer for over 15 years now. I've been working for several German and international YouTube multi-channel networks, and that's what I do. I create content, actually, and I've been working with bigger creators, and just recently decided to do my own thing. I'm not working with any clients here and there, but no networks, no multi-channel networks, no creators anymore. Basically trying to grow my own reach. That's what I do. I'm a triple Adobe certified expert, so I'm pretty sure there's a few things that I can teach you, that I can show you. So again, I can only encourage you to ask questions if you have any. So without any further ado, let's dive right in. Here is that shot that I created with a GoPro. Actually, it's a GoPro Hero 3. It's a pretty old one, but for this purpose, it was good enough. I needed a wide-angle camera, and I set it to 100 frames per second, slow motion, and put it on the ground and asked the girl to just jump over it. That's pretty simple. So when you take a look at the footage, hang on, it's creating the RAM preview. Hopefully, does it? Yeah. And she's actually just jumping over it. That's basically all there is to it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna adjust the speed, so we have the slow motion, and then we'll just mask it out so we can duplicate the clip and time offset it so it looks like the final video. Okay, and hang on a second. Yeah, so first things first, let's see where the leap is happening. It's actually right here. So Control-Shift-D will split the layer. I'm gonna delete excuse me, delete that one, and then she's out of sight right here. We're gonna crop it a little bit because in the lower right corner you see that tree. So excuse me, my asthma comes through. Control-Shift-D, split again, and get rid of that. So that's actually the part that we're gonna work with. Pretty simple. If you hit Control-K, you'll get into the composition settings, and of course we want to end up with a square video. So in the end, the dimensions of the video will be 1080 by 1080. We could actually already do that. Could do that now. Hang on, 1080 by 1080. So that's basically the final aspect ratio that we're gonna work with. And at this point, we could already scale it and put that into place. And now you can see that the tree is gone. Boom and boom. Pretty simple. So that's basically what I did when with the first version. And now we're gonna have to adjust the speed. You could actually mask it out and then adjust the speed, or the other way around. That's actually up to you. It's not really rotoscoping what we're doing. It's just basic masking. So let's do it right now. What's the frame rate here? The frame rate is 100. Well, yeah, here's the thing. I should have set the frame rate to 120 frames per second, a multiple of 30, but I didn't think of that. So we're gonna set the frame rate here to 25, which is the European German frame rate, okay? And then we can put the stretch factor to hang on, factor of 4. Boom, and now we should have a clean slow motion of her, yeah, jumping over the GoPro. And for Instagram, it doesn't matter. You could upload 25 frames per second. Of course, I would suggest 30 frames per second, but since I set the camera to 100 frames, I'm gonna go with 25 in this case, because if I was setting it to 30, it would be jittery maybe. I just want the clean slow motion. So that's where it starts. Boom. Is it? Yeah. And she's gone here. Okay. So what's the next thing? Excuse me. The next thing is we're gonna have to mask this out. So with the clip selected, hit Control-D to duplicate it, and we'll grab the pen tool and then just click the canvas. Oh, you see what happened? You have to have the layer selected. If not, it will create a shape layer, okay? That always happens to me. So with the layer selected, just click around her. Boom, 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 boom. And then we'll end up with this mask. And actually, let me turn this on and then make another duplicate. So this is the mask that we had just created. Now hit M to access the mask path, And then hit the stopwatch to record keyframes, because we're gonna animate the mask. Okay. At this point, actually, you could. I mean, I know what I was setting in the first version. Hit M and F. That will bring up the mask feather and bring it all the way up to, I don't know, 20 maybe. You're gonna need that because although the GoPro was set to all manual, you just want to avoid glitches and any edges around the mask. So mask feather 20 will do the trick for now. Oh, hang on. Are we going to animate that? No. Just set it to 20 and you're all set. And now when we take the underlying clip and we offset that, now you can see that she's actually moving. And before we get to that, we're going to have to animate the mask and follow her moving, okay? So go back to M, the mask path, and go to the end, hit mask path, and then, hang on, hold down Control so you can move the whole mask. When you hold down Control and click on the canvas, you can access single points, and you would just want to adjust the mask a little bit. And what After Effects is going to do now, when you go back and forth, you're going to see that it's actually had already animated the mask between these two keyframes. And now what you need to do is just go back and forth and adjust the mask. Just get a little closer so it doesn't overlap with her. Okay, that should be fine. And then one more. Hold down Control to move the whole mask. And that's it there. You can always scrub back and forth. You see on the knee on the right side, you can actually adjust this keyframe here. Just get to this. Oh, hang on. Control Z. Get to this point and move it a little bit up. All right. Now the same thing to the other direction. Mask path. Hold down Control. And again, if you have any questions, please put it into the comments. I'll go back and answer them. Hang on a second. And again, if you have any questions, please put it into the comments. I'll go back and okay. Good. I'm hitting the B key to set the endpoint for the work area here. That's this right here. Because when I hit 0 on the numpad, it will generate a RAM preview within this area, the work area. Okay. So here, it's getting way too close. Okay, that should be all right. Zoom in a little bit. And then just check the areas in between. If there's any overlappings. No, that looks good. And then here, you know what, actually, we could extend the mask here a little bit. And hang on a second, I have to adjust the view here. Okay. All right, next, just the mask. I mean, of course, that's a lot of click work. This masking is very time consuming actually, but it's worth it. I mean, the result looks looks kind of nice, and people were wondering how it actually has been created, but it's pretty simple. Basically just masking and offsetting, and that's all there is to it. But it's easy. It's very easy. I mean, you could create a new video like this every other day, and in different variations. Maybe looking up if you can mount the GoPro somewhere above you. Okay. And then you will have to zoom in a little more. So again, we're masking this. We're doing all this masking, so she will be visible here and here, as you can see in the final video here above me. So we can actually duplicate these clips and reveal her before and after in time. And okay, that should be okay. See, another keyframe here. So that's basically good old rotoscoping work. I mean, that you couldn't even call this rotoscoping. In visual effects, proper rotoscoping is much more complex, more detailed. Okay, the end looks good. And you know what? There's a shortcut: Control left and right arrow to skip frame by frame. See, we've got a problem here. So that keyframe, extend the mask a little bit. Control right arrow. I need another one here. Control right arrow. That should be all right. Okay. That looks good actually. Okay, so we can come back and tweak this if necessary. So let's say this is, if you select the layer and hit enter, you can give it a name. Call it base or background. Let's call this masked. Always got to have the proper nomenclature. I mean, After Effects projects can get fairly complex. So after a while, you're going to regret to not name your layers. Sometimes I keep forgetting that as well, but you shouldn't. So now that we've got this, take the masked layer, select it, and hit Control D to duplicate, and then just drag it all the way to the right when she's not in the way anymore. Of course, you don't want this to overlap because then it will be visible. Okay, that's all right. So boom. Okay, that's way too early. I'll see the mask needs some tweaking here, because that's right where you would see. So we're gonna have to go back to the mask, delete this, go to mask, hit M, and go back to this mask here. Hold Control, click the canvas, and then go back to this mask here. See how this looks? Maybe here, just a little closer to the arm. That should be okay. We might run into the same problem at the end, but we'll see that in a minute. So again, same process. Click on masked, Control D. Now grab the clip. Oh, hang on. Somewhere in the middle here. And then drag it all the way to the right. And then scrub back and forth. Okay, we're going to need that a little, or actually much closer to the left, or actually maybe move the mask completely out of the canvas. I don't know. Let's delete this. Go back to the mask. First frame. Oh yeah. Hit mask path to move the whole mask, and then let's see if that works. Much better. So close. Yeah, that's actually good. And same process again. Control D. Right in the middle. This should work now. Almost. Let's do. There you go. Okay. See, now you got this looping animation, in which excuse me, we're going to have to do now, we're going to have to delete it one more time, so we end up with 3 girls, pretty much. 3 instances. So here at the beginning, and go to the endpoint, and then hit N. So that's 141 frames. The distance from here to here. So when you hit this counter and hit plus 141, it's going to move another. Oh, hang on. That's actually not, that's the total amount. Okay. So 96 to 141. Add 4, it's 45. All right, now the distance from the beginning to the second instance is 45 frames. Okay, so hit the number, hit plus 45, because we want to move forward in time exactly the same amount as it was moving from here to there. All right, so duplicate it one more time and then move it to the playhead. And boom, boom, boom. That's basically it. That's all there is to it. Okay. Hang on. So we've got this. And of course, you want to upload longer videos to Instagram. I can't remember, but they can't be shorter than, I think, 5 seconds or something. I can't really recall it. I think it's 5 seconds. So what I usually do, I just duplicate everything, so I end up with 30, 40, 50-second videos. Maybe that would even trick the Instagram algorithm. Everybody's talking about algorithms these days. So it thinks it's a longer video. I don't know. But I like the idea that Instagram would think it's a longer video. Oh, the other thing, when we do that, actually, we need to do is, okay, let's first duplicate all this. And again, go to the last edit here, and then hit the frame number plus 45. Remember, we want to move forward 45 frames. Select all 3. Let's save this. Select all 3 clips. Control D. Move them up. and then move the endpoint of the first clip to the time indicator, the playhead. And now you can see that we're running out of background. So we're going to have to take care of that in a second. But what happens when you do that is you have this endless stream of jumping girls. Okay, good. So let's duplicate the background and see if this will get in the way. Can you actually hear any music? Hang on, let me check. Well, you should be able to hear any music, so if you could write into the comments if you hear any music or not, that would be amazing. Good. So we duplicated the background. You just don't want this to get it. See, when you duplicate the background, you're gonna end up with some sort of ghosting here. So what you want to do is just hide it. Under one of these clips, that should actually match. That's all right. Then duplicate it one more time. And again, hide it here. Let's see. See if that works. That seems to work. All right. And let's check from here to here. That's 10 seconds. Okay, that should be, let's call this done. I mean, you could repeat this again and again until you end up with a 60-second video, which is the upload limit to Instagram. But you get the idea. That's basically the core process on how to duplicate this. So, but the other thing that we have to consider is we can't start here because we want to end up with a looping video. So we have to start somewhere here. That will be actually the beginning, and then find a point where the frames match, which should be hang on a second. So let's say this is our entrance, the beginning of the video. We're going to have to find exactly the same frame at the end. So that way we will end up with a looping video, which should be that point. Now that we set the in and out of the work area, we hit 0 on the numpad. It should be looping already. And it does. Wonderful. And that looks pretty much like what you see on the top left, the final video. And that's basically it. So from here, we will have to I mean, again, if you want to extend this, you would just have to duplicate all these clips and then 45 frames forward, duplicate the background, and then you could extend this infinitely. Okay. One last thing that I do, I just create a Control-Shift, Control-Alt, yeah, adjustment layer. Excuse me. Adjustment layer, and then do some color correction. As you can see, the final clip looks teal and orangish, so I used a custom LUT. You could actually just leave it as it is and apply a Instagram filter. So what I do is I apply a Lumetri color engine to this adjustment layer, and then go to creative, and I don't know, what did I use? I think it was one of these Vision Color custom LUTs, but let's see if I can find them here. No, it's not in the system folder. Let's just, I don't know, find one. Oh, that's way too cold. What about... Okay, let's say this one. Go to basic, tweak. Tweak the basic settings a little bit. And up the exposure. But bring back the highlights. Actually, you know what? Let's just use two adjustment layers. One for the clouds to bring back some detail, and one for the middle of the video to bring the exposure up a little bit. So duplicate this, then just use the ellipse tool. Move the mask a little bit. Feather it. As you can see, there's I want to get a clean Lumetri. Start from scratch and just bring up the exposure just a little bit. Let's see how that looks. Maybe even M and F. That's the key shortcuts for mask feather. Just bring it all the way up. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that looks better. Maybe even more. Yeah. Up the shadows. Yeah. Okay. So that should be all right. And as you can see, like, I'm not sure if the compression or the live stream compression is eating it up, but there is some sort of like tint going on right here at the end of the clip. Do you see that here in this area? That's, I don't know why that is. As I said, I did set the GoPro to manual, but I think I didn't change anything. I uploaded this to Instagram as it is, and you don't see that. You can't really see the difference here. So it's not happening when the video at the beginning, see here, looks all good, but then at the end, let's see. That's this clip here. Let's use another Lumetri here. Basic correction, and see, let's minus 0.1. Does that do anything? So when you scrub the playhead, it's still visible just a little bit. What about minus 0.3? So right here, from here, it should be okay. The end. Okay. It should be minus 0.2. Pretty sure that works. But now, you see that there's a problem at the beginning. Now it's too dark. So it looks okay at the end. But So we've got some problems with the exposure from the second half of the clip. So what we can do now is animate the exposure. Hang on, was it here? Okay. Hit the stopwatch. When you select the layer and hit the U key, it will show you all keyframes. So that's a quick way to access any keyframes. So from here it looks good. When we go back, we can set it back to 0 again. Oh, hang on. This keyframe right here, and set that to 0 and see how that looks. Maybe nudge it a little bit, just a little bit forward, 2 frames. Okay. That's perfect. Now the problem is, of course, we did that with on one clip. Now we have to go through all of them and set it to, hang on, this is frame 186, and this is 237. 14, 47, 51. Is that right? Plus 51. Yeah. Okay. So here, plus 51, paste. Same here, plus 51, Control V, check it with the U key, okay, and the same thing here, plus 51, Control V, and hit the U key, okay. All right, so now it should look much better. I think we forgot one. First one. Yeah. Now it should look much better. I think we forgot one. First one. Plus 51. Control V. And the very first one, plus 51 frames. What I did was go to the first frame, move forward 51 frames, and then paste it so it all looks the same. Of course, we should have done that with the very first frame before we copied all the clips. And hang on a second. Go back to the color correction. Maybe bring it to contrast a little bit. Let's see if it gets better when we tweak the feathering a little more. That should be it. So I can see it here. That was the same with the first one that I did. But when I uploaded it or exported it and uploaded it, it was gone. So would actually need a little more tweaking, but for you to understand how this works, that should be okay. So when I do a RAM preview, actually it's basically not visible. Again, I'm seeing it a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see it in the live stream. Thanks, Leonard. Desktop audio. Thanks, Leonard. Desktop audio. Can you hear the music now? Just let me know. Okay, back to the tutorial. So that was the process of copying everything and masking it out. Okay. Let's go back to the sequence settings. Well, we did set it to 1080 by 1080, 1 by 1. That's what we want for Instagram. Let's go back to the and settings. Now we want to play it out. How do we do that? When you want to play out, export an MP4 file from After Effects, that actually doesn't work. Most beginners are really confused. If you want to export an MP4 file, you have to go send it to the Adobe Media Encoder and then do it from there. But what you can also do is go to the render queue and select Format, QuickTime, and then Format Options, Video Codec H.264. That's basically the same thing. You probably already know that QuickTime.mov is actually not a codec, it's a container. And it could contain any codec or many codecs, okay? MP4 is actually just a more restricted version of QuickTime. So you could be doing this. Okay, that's good. Music is not too loud. That's how it was meant to be. You could be doing this. So music is. You could go either way, actually. Just send it to Media Encoder. The good thing about sending it to Media Encoder is that once sent to the Media Encoder, you can continue working in After Effects. That's a great time saver if you have exporting multiple things. Sometimes when I do client work, I end up doing this kind of videos 5, 6, 10 times a day. Pretty much batch work. So then you will need to use the Media Encoder just to be able to work faster. Okay. So what did we do? We selected QuickTime. The video codec is H.264. Media Encoder just to be able to work faster. Okay. And that's basically it. The good thing, or the other good thing about the Media Encoder, let's do it. Add to Media Encoder. That will fire up the Media Encoder. The good thing when it comes to Square MP4 videos, I get this question a lot in the groups and on the when it comes to Premiere Pro Facebook pages. I get this question a lot when I hit the settings here. You'll basically see the same dialogue as you are seeing when you export videos from Premiere Pro. The settings here. Okay. I really need some time to send it to the Media Encoder, probably because I'm streaming right now. Okay. That was not the right project. It was an old wedding project. Let me delete that. The Media Encoder, probably this one. Yes. Okay. Let's give it some time. Okay. It's not reading. Why not? Let's send it again. Add to media encoder. Okay. Not reading. Why not? Let's see what happens. Add to media encoder. Nothing. All right. Let's see what happens. That's surprising. I'm not sure. Maybe the live stream is eating up too much resources. Usually it just pops up here. Oh. I'm not sure. Maybe the live stream is eating up too much resources. Usually it just... So let's close media encoder. Pops up here. Oh. Try once again. Maybe that wedding project. Hello. Nothing happens. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Let's access the settings. Now, that's what I was going to show you because it's all German. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to change the settings. Now, but dimensions are 1080 by 1080. It's all German. I can't really recall what was that in English. It was dimensions are 1080 by 1080 match frame or something. I don't know. I can't really recall what was that. Yeah, I can't really show because what I wanted to demonstrate actually is when you play out full HD videos 1080 1920 by 1080, you're gonna have to set it to I think match frame. But that's actually what you would do when you want to export an MP4 file out of After Effects for Instagram. And since we checked in the work area that the first and the last frame actually match, you know what? Actually, you should go back one more frame and then set it to out, because if the first and the last frame are similar, you will have a short, almost unnoticeable glitch. Okay, so this is the last frame of the clip, and the first frame is this. Then you will avoid that glitch. That's a common mistake. I did that a couple of times when I started this, but once you've found exactly the same frame, just go back one more frame and then set the endpoint to that frame. Then it will loop perfectly. And since this is called Instagram video loop, you want to have it perfect. Okay, but that's basically it. That's basically how you create this, and you can do that with. You could do the same thing with a smartphone, put it on the ground, or mount it somewhere with a Adobe tripod here, and do these looping videos. And I hope that was interesting. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you found it useful. Netio Bay. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just thought it would be helpful for that's something that's I've seen this kind of content on a couple of American profiles. Yeah, I just thought not so much in Germany yet. I think there was one other guy doing this, some parkour content. It's looked really nice. He's creating cool content, but I haven't seen any tutorials with this kind of animations. And I'm gonna look into more magic trick shots like Zach King with his 20 million subscribers. Of course, he's doing it. He's putting a lot of effort. He's got a whole team around it. Some clips with his 20 million subscribers. Of course, basically, he's putting a lot of effort. Sometimes need days or weeks to finish. But he started with these kind of techniques. I mean, the name is actually, you can take it literally, Final Cut King. What he did was just masking areas out of static videos and then adding some camera shake for he did was just masking areas out of static videos and then adding some for the impression camera shake for I have my video playing twice. Can you explain that, please? Oh, you mean, yeah, that's that's in After Effects. I was demonstrating how to create this. So the top left is the final video. Yeah, that's and what you see on the big screen is actually the program I'm creating that with. Is that what you mean? What was I saying? On the big screen. Yeah, that's basically how Zach King is working, and I had created a couple of videos with pretty similar magic trick videos. I'm gonna explain that in later live streams. But I'm curious what you mean with the video playing twice. You did mean this, right? Explain that in later live streams. But I'm curious what you mean with the video playing twice. You did mean live stream on my end. You're gonna have to explain. All right, so that's basically it. Yeah, I hope you found that useful. If you have any suggestions or actually other content that I could recreate from anybody else and kind of reverse engineer their content, that would be a nice challenge. Maybe recreating Zach King videos. I don't know. I probably can't do that, but I can give it a shot. I'm still learning, so there's always something new to learn. Okay, and okay, here comes an idea. What's the idea? I'm still learning, so there's always something new to learn. Promotional advert video. Okay. Okay, here comes an idea. What's the idea? Yeah, I certainly need more promotional footage material. That's that's certainly true. I don't even have a reel. I never had the time to put together a reel. I have tons of videos. Yeah, I certainly need more. Over a decade of client work. That's I could put together like an hour reel, but I don't have the time to do that. But I should actually, maybe as a channel trailer. That could work really well. Yeah. All right. So what was I saying? Yeah, I hope you did enjoy this live stream. Big pages. All right. So what was I saying? Yeah, I hope you did. I don't really understand what you mean. Some pages advertised. Do you mean the header video, like Facebook? That's actually another thing that I wanted to do. I don't really understand what you mean. Or you mean like really video, like Facebook? That's like TV commercials or something. Not sure. Okay. While you're looking up an example, probably let me finish this. So yeah, that's okay. Actually an attempt to come up with a format I haven't seen actually before. I can't really recall any other channel doing this, like live creation of Instagram, loop videos. And I have a couple of videos that I have been getting questions for how I did that, so I'm gonna try to live stream that once a week. And again, if you have any questions, please put it into the comments. I was actually thinking of providing the project file once a week, like this one, so you can just really explore how it was done, get it downloaded, and really get your hands dirty and examine how it actually has been done. So you can just really learn along the way. If you would like that, just let me know. And yeah, so that was basically the first episode of the Instagram video loop live stream. I have another concept that I'm going to come up with maybe tomorrow. I still have not decided to like when I'm gonna be online, which day, maybe Wednesdays and Saturdays. I think I'm gonna have to test and see how it works. And wow, that's almost an hour, 55 minutes of streaming. I didn't expect that. 1 hour stream, cool. Promotion video, big Instagram minutes of streaming. I didn't expect that. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Just basically to promote my Instagram profile, right? Yeah, once I have enough of these things, just basically to promote my Instagram. Excuse me. Once I have enough of these things, if you look up my Instagram profile, I think I have like 9 videos or 7. I'm not sure. As mentioned, I just recently started this. So once I have enough footage, I should be creating something promotional. That's definitely true. But really, if you have any examples, even later on, just put it into the comments. I'd be really curious to see what you mean. Again, I'm definitely true. Always willing to be inspired by. If you have any examples, it's my Instagram. If you look up here, really curious to see what you mean. Again, I'm here. Always willing to be inspired. It's offset. It's VidConMark. That's my Instagram, which is short for my website, Video Content Marketing. And VideoMark, actually, some people started calling me Mark because they think my name is Mark. No. Website. VideoMark is short for video marketing. VideoMark, actually, pretty simple. Some people started calling me Mark. Okay, I'll check that after the live stream. Maybe we should get into a conversation. You seem to be very helpful. VideoMark is short for video, so I will respond there. All right, so to wrap this up, I'll check that. Thank you so much for watching. I think 2 people, Lenny and Netio Bay. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we will gain some more reach in the future. But I'm very glad this worked out. Thanks for the comments, and I'll see you in the next live stream. It should be next week.